Hello and welcome. Here are the highlights. Governor Abba Yusuf asked NNPP supporters to remain calm following Wednesday's reaction over tribunal judgment in Kano State. And as parties warm up for the November 11 governorship election in Imo State, INEC warns that over 134,000 PVCs are yet to be collected. Plus, efforts are on to curb crime in Ogun State. The state government says all is set to enact a law which will prescribe death penalty for cultists. And on to the details now. The Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has urged the people of the state, especially his supporters, to remain calm and be law-abiding. This is coming after the governorship tribunal ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to withdraw his certificate of return and issue it to the All Progressives Congress candidate Nasiru Gawuna. The governor also vowed to appeal the tribunal's judgment.
The judgment may not be absolutely perfect. There are errors and misapplication of the law, as pointed out by our legal team. And that is the main reason why our Constitution provides for other stages to go on with, such as Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. On this note, we have already instructed our legal team to appeal this judgment as soon as possible so as to ensure that justice is done to the good people of Kano State that elected us. Let me therefore call on all the good people of Kano State to be calm and remain law-abiding. People should not take the law into their hands. Security agents have already been directed to ensure the full protection of lives and properties of innocent citizens across the state.
In the aftermath of that judgment, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Kayode Adeluola, has been speaking on some of the factors that may have been considered by the panel of justices in delivering their verdict. He was a guest in our political program, Sunrise Politics Today.
The evidence before the courts must have necessitated their deduction of the votes. If the other party had convinced them also that some votes were ascribed to the APC candidate, they probably would have done so. You see, we should not assume that judges take decisions without considering what the evidence for them are. They look at the evidence and, of course, put them side by side the pleadings before them. Now, it's not a question of you deduct from so-and-so, you must deduct from me as well. The evidence must have shown that in certain polling booths or in certain polling units, the votes cast there were meant for the APC candidate and not the NNPP candidate. A judge would not sit at the bench and ask herself or himself, should I give a judgment in this way or the other, all because of what the reaction of the people will be. The first thing the judge ought to do, or the tribunal, is to consider the facts and the evidence that have been placed before her. These are the primary considerations. Otherwise, that judge will be shirking her responsibility and her oath of office, where she has sworn to deliver judgment without fear or favor, ill will, or affection If she considers the fact that some people are going to be unhappy with her judgment, and she determines the outcome based upon that, that cannot be justice. We must consider the fact that judges have a responsibility to God, to the judiciary they serve, but more importantly, to the law that they have been called upon to uphold. However, we have realized that the Supreme Court, for example, which ultimately will be the final arbiter, like we usually describe them, is not only a court of law, but also a policy court, because they have a responsibility to ensure that there's a balance, and they do that at that level. But with a tribunal must simply look at the pleadings, look at the evidence, and come to a conclusion. That's my position.
Saying with reactions to that judgment from the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, the Chief Press Secretary to the Kano State Governor, Sanusi Bature, has described the ruling as selective because, according to him, the judges did not apply the same standards for all parties.
The usually busy roads leading to schools in Kano metropolis appeared scanty as most schools were shut down ahead of the judgment of the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. Amidst the uncertainty, heavy security is deployed to the premises of the High Court.
The situation in Kano today, because what we have been hearing, I did not allow my children to go to school, because all the two parties, they are threatening themselves. Threatening if I don't get what I'm supposed to get. The heaven will fall, we kiss ground. That is why we fear. We did not allow our children to go to school. Even you can see our office is closed.
And based on what is happening around, there is enough security, so I don't feel anyway. Whichever way it goes, it's safe. Kano is safe.
Moments after the judgment, supporters of the All Progressives Congress celebrate along Murtala Mohammed Way. Nevertheless, residents of the ancient city react to the judgment.
Unfortunately, it's not funny. And seriously, where the judgment is very, very bad. For 705 fuel this year, fuel. And seriously, the judgment is not making sense. There's no work.
But I cannot say everything, but we leave everything in the hands of God.
The Kano State Commissioner of Police, Hussaini Gumel, has declared a dusk to dawn curfew in Kano to forestall any breakdown of law and order. Kano State has remained peaceful even after the outcome of today's judgment, declaring Yusuf Gawuna of the All Progressive Congress as the winner of March governorship election. The counsel to the New Nigerian People's Party has said they will go further to the appeal court to appeal this judgment. For now, we can only watch and see what happens. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchin Vincent, Channels Television News.
Well, we're supposed to be hearing from the former Attorney General of the Kano State, Mr. Lawan Musa, to join us on the program virtually and talk to us about the situation. Yes, he's in our studio in Kano. Mr. Musa, that judgment, there have been multiple reactions as regards the verdict of the Election Petition Tribunal. What's your stance?
Well, you know, when we presented this case, we also presented about 208,000 invalid ballot papers, which we said were cast for the NNPP. And of course, these ballot papers were all certified by INEC. And INEC is the first respondent in our petition. And when the court went through these ballot papers, one after the other, the court found that 165,616 of these ballot papers did not meet the criteria as set out when you read Section 63 sub 1 and Article 36 of the INEC electoral guidelines for 2023 elections. And what does it say? It says every ballot paper shall be signed, stamped, and dated at the back. All these 165,616 ballot papers that were cast for NNPP did not meet this criteria. And the court, of course, you know now, under the new Electoral Act, when you present evidence, when you tender documents certified through copies and demonstrate them in court, the court can look at those documents without even witnesses. And of course, the INEC did not say anything about these documents, did not dispute them because it was certified by them. They did not bring any witness on their own part. And the court, of course, when it found that these ballot papers were invalid, of course, declared them invalid and deducted them from the scores of NNPP. That was how the court reached that decision. The NNPP did not bring any evidence. They did not equally went through the ballot cast for APC. So, of course, the court is not a Father Christmas. It cannot go ahead to now look at the votes of APC because it is not even before the court. So that was what happened. And after the deduction, Nasir Yusuf Garuna scored 890,000 votes, while the NNPP's candidate scored 853,000 votes. So that was why the court declared Nasir Yusuf Garuna as the winner.
So are you implying from your statement, are you implying that if the NNPP lawyers had gone through the votes or ballot papers that were cast for the APC, they could have found something similar?
No, that's not what I'm implying. What I am saying is what is before the court is what the court will use in deciding a matter. NNPP did not allege at any time that APC also had invalid votes cast in its favor. They never alleged that at any stage, and that is the position. But right from the beginning, we knew that there were invalid votes that was cast for NNPP. That was why in our petition we stated that in our pleadings, we brought evidence, and we worked tirelessly. We got an order from the tribunal, and we worked tirelessly to get all these things. We went to about 31 local governments in Kano State, and we got all these invalid votes, which we presented before the court.
What's the reaction of your client, the governorship candidate of the APC?
His reaction is basically the same as when the first result, the first election was declared. It is the will of God. It is God that decides who leads. It is God that gives, and it is God that takes. He took it the way he took the first one. And of course, he came out to say that it is God that decides who
Indeed,
or not.
In that initial announcement, when INEC first announced the winner of the election, it was reported that he congratulated the winner, Mr. Yusuf, at that time, and saying, okay, no problem, you've won, let's carry on and build Kano State. So what's going to be the situation now? What's the way forward now that the tribunal has asked that a certificate of return be given to him? Is he going to reach out to the NNPP candidate or governor?
Well, I think, like you said rightly in the beginning, he congratulated him. But of course, this is a mandate of APC also. That is why APC went to court. And congratulations does not mean that he has given up. But of course, yes, what we are saying is Kano is one. And the most important thing for us is the development of Kano State, the security of Kano State. And I am sure that is the first thing to call on NNPP, and of course the candidate of NNPP, His Excellency Abba Kabir Yusuf, to join hands with Dr. Nasir Yusuf Gauna so that Kano can be taken to greater heights.
Let me just bring this in here, because the conversation from the camp of the NNPP is also, in reaction to that verdict, is that Gauna wasn't even joined to the suit. But now the courts are saying he should be given a certificate of return. How does that work?
You look at the new, you see, that is why I'm really surprised, because it is their lawyers that are telling them this. Look at the new Electoral Act. Even the court in its judgment, because they raised this as an objection, even the court in the judgment cited section 133 of the evidence of the Electoral Act, which clearly stipulates the people that can go and file election petition. And it says it is either the candidate who participated in the election or the political party who sponsored a candidate in the election, or both, meaning APC can file the petition independently. Dr. Nasir Yusuf Gawuna can file a petition independently. That was what we did, and the court overruled them and said APC was right to go and file its petition on its own. So that is the position. The court has already taken care of that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawan Musa, former Attorney General, Kano State. Thank you for speaking to us from Kano. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I'll go on a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll look at other political news. Mr. David Umahi is accusing civil servants of trying to sabotage his efforts. We'll be back again. Welcome back, and we'll return to Kano again, where as soon as the tribunal delivered its judgment, in that place, the police commissioner, the police command said it's not leaving anything to chance and pronounced a dusk to dawn curfew across the city. The Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Gumel, announced the strict enforcement of a 24-hour curfew beginning from 6 p.m. on Wednesday till about 6 p.m. today. It says this serves as a part of measures to maintain law and order there. So we're hoping that Mr. Gumel will join us on Lunchtime Politics today. Mr. Gumel, if you were there, tell us what's it been like enforcing that curfew in Kano.
Well, thank you. Kano State, as I'm talking to you, is very peaceful. And people generally are calm, are respecting the curfew order informed by the state government. People are seeing the benefit of respecting the order because it's all activities in the state are protected and life of individual remain sacrosanct and protected as well. We are trying to review the situation right away to see what we can do, either to consider the level of relaxing it or extending it. But the way we see it, people are law-abiding. Nobody is going to take law enforcement agencies in the state for granted. It is most likely that the order will be relaxed. But we are still studying it alongside the state government before the next line of action.
Okay, we do know that the reactions were massive. I mean, if you see the footage showing on the screen, the video on the screen, you see that the crowds are enormous. And I understand that they're spread across different parts of Kano City. Now the curfew has been set for 6 p.m. of yesterday till 6 p.m. today. As you said, you're reviewing it already. What's the guarantee that should you review this curfew, there will be no breakdown of law and order?
Well, it will be too early for me to tell you because the situation cannot be predicted for now. But we are still making some consultations with stakeholders. Like you know, security in Kano State is not only lying on the head of the police. We are the lead internal security agency, but other heads of security agencies are still in consultation with our headquarters in order to adopt better way of securing every life and property, including peace and tranquility to prevail in the state.
So would the police be considering other avenues to educate the residents of Kano when things like these are about to happen? Because, I mean, almost everyone tends to walk on eggshells when it comes to Kano as regards any major matter of this nature. People are almost always divided on one side, supporting one camp or the other. Is the police considering another avenue to educate the people to say when things like this happen, this is how to behave, that's how to behave, without having to impose a curfew?
Well, like you know, the style of policing in the state is community-based. We have been in touch with the traditional rulers, market unions, and other critical stakeholders before we come up with any decision that we believe is going to work for everyone. So better options may be announced subsequently after the conclusion of this consultation.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Gumel, Commissioner of Police, Kano State. Thank you for speaking to us on Lunchtime Politics.
Thank you very much.
Moving on now, the Minister of Works, Mr. David Umahi, has accused civil servants in the Ministry of conniving with contractors to frustrate his efforts in ensuring accountability in the construction of federal roads across the country. The minister stated this during an inspection of some federal roads in Rivers State, where he revealed how corruption in the Ministry of Works is slowing down the pace of construction and the efforts to achieve standardization. Mr. Umahi threatened to sack any civil servant who acts unprofessionally and fails to implement the new administration's policy on standardization.
I'm aware of very serious blackmail going on from the contractors and even civil servants about this intervention that the president is doing on our routes. I keep lamenting that from Abuja to Edo State, I stayed there 14 hours, and it served me well as a leader in this country. It served me very well to see what Nigerians are suffering on our routes on a daily basis, despite the trillions being given. And the question is, should the president, past president, have been the one being on this road? Should the minister be everywhere on this road? So the blame is on civil servants. Civil servants are a big problem to this country. We need to bring their leaders. Let us discuss. Civil servants are the ones that are satisfying payments. Most of them have joined contractors on the mission of blackmail against me. But my belief is in God, that whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world.
And following the Shagamu called clash, which claimed 8 lives, the Ogun State Governor, Dakwa Abiodun, has hinted on the plans by his administration to enact a law that will pronounce the death penalty on anyone caught engaging in cult activities. The governor made this known at a meeting with the paramount ruler of Remoland, Oba Babatunde Ajayi, and his chiefs at their Akaribo Palace in Shagamu. While sympathizing with families of the innocent residents who lost their lives in the incident, the governor, however, described the development as an economic sabotage against the state, and promised to deal decisively with anyone caught in the act.
We will leave no stone unturned into ensuring that we bring every person directly, indirectly, remotely responsible for these occurrences to book. I have discussed with the Attorney General. Perhaps it is our disposition that is allowing for the recurrences of this heinous crime. It is well within my authority as governor of the state to pronounce death penalties on people. And we are going to have to ensure that we enact that. Because when people appreciate and understand that there will be consequences for their behavior, perhaps they will begin to have a rethink. I have called on the Commissioner of Police, the State Director of Security Services, the Brigade Commander, the Commander Civil Defense, our Commander Amotekun, and all our security architecture to actually relocate to Shagamu is purpose. Anyone that we arrest that is connected remotely or directly to either cult action or kidnapping, we will find out where they live and will demolish that house. I am hereby pronouncing that we will no longer refer to these people as cultists or any other name. We are pronouncing them as murderers. And we will mete out punishments that are deserving to murderers on them. Whatever the maximum punishment that the law allows us to mete out on murderers is what we are going to mete out to them.
Ahead of the November 11 governorship election in Kogi State, members of the state's transport union have thrown their weight behind the All Progressives Congress candidate. The union's representatives who stormed the government house, Lokoja, explained that they have determined to reward the support of Governor Yahaya Bello by supporting his candidate. Reacting to this gesture, the State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Famo, assured the unions of the determination of the candidate to move the state forward.
His Excellency, the time as I described him, is somebody who look at Kogi as one. He has come. He has performed incredibly well, and now he believes the legacy he left behind. He wants a continuity, he wants a build-up. That's why he's bringing Udundu Ibu come November 11, 2023. By the grace of God, we shall win. Landslide victory for that matter. So I want to appreciate all of you. I want to pray that all of you are sincerely supporting this regime. God will not let you down.
The incoming governor would have been here personally because of the great respect he has for you. You know why you are so important? You are so important. You take people from one point to the other. Is that not important? Yes. You are contributing to the economy of the states. Is that not important? The people you carry, you discuss. Isn't it? Yes. So if you tell them that Kogi is bad,
and with that report from Kogi State, you've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Thanks for watching. I'm Neota Igbe.